It's right around 11:30 p.m. on Sunday, June 29th, 2025. And I'm here in Southern Connecticut at my family's home. This is a 2.5 story residence owned by various family members of my immediate family. I don't live here. I'm just holding down the fort while one of my family members is in the hospital. And I've been down here many times. I mean, my family has owned this residence here for, I don't know, at least 15 years. It's a nice area. Usually there's not a lot of creepiness or weirdness going on. Most of the people who live here are professionals or retired professionals. And this is a condominium complex. Therefore, everybody has to own their condo. There's a no rental policy basically attached to this condo complex. So if you live in one of these condos, you either have to be the owner or an immediate family member of the owner. I've been sitting on the couch for the last hour and a half trying to complete a work-related certification exam. And starting earlier this evening, there was a tremendous amount of violent slamming and pounding from the unit next to this one. Mary, the dog lady, lives in the unit next to this one. I'm not sure what's going on with Mary, the dog lady, but she doesn't seem to be physically in her residence. It's completely dark. And yet there's somebody who has been making violent slamming and banging noises against this wall throughout the last, 4.5, 5 hours. Mary, the dog lady, is not in her residence because her car was parked just outside of her backyard gate at approximately 4 o'clock this afternoon. She was loading stuff into it and then she left. The car is no longer there. So whoever is now in Mary the dog lady's residence is not Mary the dog lady. She lives by herself, usually with a few dogs. She boards them, I believe, which I think is actually against the bylaws of the condo complex. You're not supposed to be running a business out of your residence, but whatever. There's somebody in that unit, and whoever's in that unit has been filling this entire unit right here with sickening, overpowering amounts of cigar and marijuana smoke. I suspect that this is the same psychopath, career criminal, sex offender, and obsessive stalker named Jasmine Irizarry who does this to me when I'm in my unit up in Boston and has been doing this exact same identical pattern of harassment and electronic stalking pretty much everywhere I go now for the last 11 years. Jasmine Irizarry is a protege and close personal friend of the property manager of my building complex up in Boston, a reported Russian member of organized crime named Oleg Aleseyev. I'm not the one who came up with that idea. 6 people who I did not know and who do not have a connection to each other have come up to me over the last 2.5 years, 3 times in housing court, to tell me that my property manager, Mr. Aleseyev, is a member of Russian organized crime. Mr. Aleseyev himself has bragged about Jasmine Irizarry's hacking talents and skills, mentioning to me when I went to him with concerns about her constant remote disabling of my electronics when I try to use those electronics to report not just her behavior, but problems with the Greenville Group to law enforcement and to the housing court. Mr. Aleseyev's response was, "Oh, she's such a talented hacker. She can hack into anything. She can get into anything." Irizarry has admitted that she's getting paid a lot of money to do exactly what I keep reporting that she's doing. And she's not shy about admitting that she is doing exactly what I keep reporting that she's doing. I have reason to suspect that Irizarry, claiming that she is a BLM activist of some sort, gets paid to travel to other locations in the nearby area when I happen to go to those locations to conduct personal or professional business. Right now, I am not in Massachusetts. I am in Southern Connecticut. And Irizarry seems to be staying in Mary the dog lady's condo. That's a fact. Same exact identical behavioral thumbprint. She likes to mess with my electronic devices. And over the last hour and a half, while I've been trying to complete my professional certification on my mobile device, that mobile device has suddenly stopped working. I'm able to use it to record this video right now. But other than that, I've had to shut it down and turn it back on several times, and I still can't log into the website that I need to log into in order to complete my professional certification. Irizarry seems to be very talented at remotely disabling any and all electronic devices that I try to use to report her behavior, the behavior of the property manager of the Greenville Group, or any type of dysfunction or malfunction in and around my living space that is owned by the Greenville Group in Boston. And she does the same thing when I'm down here trying to conduct professional activities that would help me to maintain my employment so I can continue to pay my rent for my unit up in Boston, where the landlord has done everything they possibly can for the last 5 years now to get rid of me under any pretext, excuse, lie, defamation, false reason, etc. And none of it has worked because basically their premises are flimsy, if not completely invalid. Oh, I forgot to mention Irizarry, who has bragged about using a directed energy weapon to electronically assault me, and this is what I've been reporting she's been doing for 5 years, has claimed that she is getting paid $300,000 to use this directed energy weapon, and she's been using it down here in Southern Connecticut since I've been down here for the last couple of days. I go back and forth up to Boston and back down here. And each time Irizarry seems to show up. She was at Back Bay Station on Sunday, June 15th, 2 weeks ago, the first time I came down here, and was standing approximately 10 feet to my right near the doorway of the entrance to the Amtrak stairwell to go down to the Amtrak platform. And she has this unique screeching hyena-like laugh that she has been belting out in my direction multiple times over the last 11 years as she has been housed in my building complex. And she was belting out that same unique, highly unusual laugh at Back Bay Station on June 15th as I was approaching the doorway to go down to the Amtrak platform. And then on the train down to Southern Connecticut, New London, etc., Irizarry on June 15th resumed her use of a directed energy device to let me know that she is nearby. Electric assault weapons, such as directed energy devices, only have a range of approximately 2 miles at the most. So if you're getting blasted by one of these things and your head suddenly feels like it's about to explode for no apparent reason, and your throat is on fire and your entire body feels like it's being squeezed tighter and tighter, then you know that the person who is using that directed energy device is at least 2 miles within your vicinity. Right now, I've had to keep this door open because the insane psychopath who is evidently smacking and slamming things around in Mary the Dog Lady's vacant condominium right now, and has been doing this for the last 5 hours, is also burning and propagating sickening and overpowering amounts of cigar and marijuana smoke that are filling this living space to the point that you can't be in here and breathe. It's so toxic and so thick that I've had to open this window, this door. I'm a little concerned about opening the back door because I don't have a view on what goes on in the back when I'm standing here watching the front. I have a knife in my hand because when somebody is being violent and aggressive to the point that whoever is behind that wall has been getting violent and aggressive, then you're dealing with a psycho who has obviously little to no control over their behavior and who's also deliberately using a directed energy weapon. And right now, as I'm standing here making this video, Irizarry the psychopath is blasting me with her directed energy weapon. That is not something that was happening 10 minutes ago. It is something that she has started doing after I started making this video. Hence the knife. This person is completely unhinged. They claim that they're getting paid to do this. I'm not sure who's paying them to do this. But I can think of one person on this planet who recruits criminally insane psychopaths to do their dirty work. And that would be a mentally disturbed piece of shit named George Soros. Soros is a huge supporter of BLM. So, indirectly, if Irizarry is getting paid by BLM, then she's also getting paid by Soros, who is the king of all asswipe filth on this planet. And I hope he fucking goes to Mars and never comes back. The more I keep this door open, the more whoever's in that unit right there is pouring cigar and marijuana smoke from that wall right there. Let's go outside and see whose lights are on and whose lights are off, because I'm pretty sure, and I'm just going to keep this knife in my hand, I'm pretty sure that nobody is in any of the adjacent units to this one, which is strange because it's a Sunday night. You would think that condo owners who have to pay their mortgage would be home at 11:30 p.m. on a Sunday, because don't they have to go to work in the morning, right? So are there lights on in Mary the dog lady's condo? No. No lights. It's dark. Completely dark. That's strange because somebody's in there smacking and slamming things around and has been for 5 hours. Let's see if somebody is in Tara's unit on the other side. She's a single mom who has like a young child. Why wouldn't she be home? Nope, her windows are off. That's our windows. Her condo is dark. Nobody in there. She works full time as far as I can tell and has to pay her condo mortgage. And Mary the dog lady is just crazy. She just, I don't know. She's in and out. So either she is renting out her condo to the BLM psycho hate stalking rejects like Jasmine Irizarry when she doesn't have to be home, or Irizarry is letting herself in to the vacant condos adjacent to this one. But right now, I cannot close this door. There's no other way to ventilate this space downstairs other than keeping this door open because of the sickening, overpowering amounts of cigar and marijuana smoke coming from Mary the dog lady's condo. And that has been coming from Mary the dog lady's condo for the last 5 hours, ever since Mary the dog lady got into her bright red little Japanese car with a bunch of stuff at around 4 o'clock this afternoon and drove off. She's not home, but somebody else certainly is. And they like to let me know that they're right on the other side of that wall, just as they have been doing against the wall behind my toilet and my kitchen sink from behind the wall of the bathroom of 78 in my building for the last 11 years. That would be the psychopath who is being sponsored by the property manager, Mr. Eliseyev. If you're dealing with some kind of craziness, it's either the Russians or the Chinese these days. Fact.